And this girl just like Papi Shampoo, bro. But she's not Papi Shampoo. Her energy is Papi Shampoo. But like she's very feminine. I'm telling you, even the way she the way she walked up like this, I was like, oh, they gonna try to steal my girl.
Yo, you're dragging it.
Nah, no, for real.
Because I didn't even see her until she got closer. But like she
locked eyes from across the room, saw you, and walked. It was amazing.
This the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, rock, ta, ta.
Welcome back to another episode of the Petty Headquarters. I'm your host, Tiana Locke, and this is
Jessie Strange.
And we are back at it again. And this time, we are going to be recapping our experience at Podfest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for those that don't know what Podfest is simply a podcast convention where you go, you meet so many different people in a podcasting world, and there's so many different sponsors as well there that you could potentially meet.
Media companies, partners, just different things. Authors, comedians, creators,
so many writers, poets, and there's different panels there with different speakers where you get to learn how to scale your podcast and grow your audience and just do a bunch of different things. There were so many things, so much insightful information. So yeah, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
I'm excited to get into this. So it's been really cold outside, and we thought we were going to Orlando, Florida to escape the cold, but no, instead we went and it embraced more cold. It was like 41 degrees out there. It was pretty cold. But, you know, we found ourselves talking to a bunch of interesting people out there. And I'm excited to get into it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get into it. Now, I've listened to a couple of people that did their recap on Podfest that we met in Podfest. And they were being cute with it. They were being cute with it. And it was just really funny. But then again, everyone's experience is very different. But this is going to be a very, very raw experience, guys. I'm letting you know now.
Yeah,
letting you know now.
Exactly. We're going to talk about the people we met, the things we've seen, and just our overall recap of everything. So, I mean, if you're interested,
let's get into it.
Let's just get into this week's Dose of Mess.
Yes.
Podfest, why did we go, right? Why did we go? So we went there because we wanted to not only make connections, but to kind of expand the podcast more than just baddies.
Right, yeah, and do more collaborations. Like, you know, people come on our show, we go on other people's shows, and just, like, learn more, pretty much. Yeah.
Did you have any expectations versus what the reality of it was?
You know, I didn't know what to expect going to Podfest because the last time we went to this other event called On Air Fest, and I think we talked about this a little bit, nothing crazy, but the last time we went, it felt like everyone in the room was like being mad judgy of us and what our podcast was about, reality TV, pop culture, whatever the fuck the case was. And it felt like people thought they were better than. So there was a very large condescending tone and unspoken energy in the room when we spoke to certain people. We only met like, what, 2 cool people out of a bunch of people that were there.
And I think there were the photographers of the place.
Yes, but there was also a podcast audio engineer.
Oh, yeah.
And she was cool.
She actually knows people that we met at this event. So.
Right, which was really interesting. Such a small world.
Very small podcast world.
So going to Podfest, I didn't know what to expect, especially since it was like, what, 3-4 days? I was like, I don't know. Are these people going to be like the same vibe from Honor Fest? Like, is it going to go great? And then, you know, it was just, I don't know. But it actually ended up being way better than I thought it would be. I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning it kind of felt like, damn, like I didn't even get to attend all the panels because we got into shit when we came, right? You want to talk about that a little bit? When we landed, how Took us like 2 fucking hours just to get a damn rental car.
Yeah. So that's definitely on my list to talk about it. But before I talk about it, I wanted to say my expectations and the versus reality, because I agree with you. Like On Air Fest definitely gave me a bad taste. And so I was expecting that type of energy coming into Podfest.
Yeah.
And I guess I thought it was going to be very corporate. I had my guard up a little bit, but it ended up being totally freaking different. Like
very different.
Very cool, very inclusive, very welcoming.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because when I've listened to other people's recap, right, about how they felt like there were certain parts that were not as inclusive, it's just so interesting that our experience is so different from like everyone else's experience. But that's how that's how big Podfest is, that you can't always get to everything, and we definitely didn't. And there are people that have they got to more panels and discussions more than we did,
way more,
but their experience is totally different,
which I find interesting, right? Because it's like
we was in the field.
We really were.
We really was outside.
We really were.
They were not,
I guess. But like, I guess I could see in certain aspects of the convention how it could be not as inclusive.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had a good time. Like we were even sitting down at some point, like eating lunch, and some lady came up to us, was like, "Oh, you guys do reality TV podcasts, right? You should talk to so-and-so."
Yeah.
So, like I thought that's very nice. But going back to what you were saying about getting to Podfest and getting to Orlando in general, right? Orlando, Florida. It's been a long time since I've been there, and I'm about to. If you guys are from Orlando, I know Messy Maya's from Orlando.
Oh my God, she is. That's right.
I thought
totally
about that after.
Forgot about that.
I know, so bad.
Damn, we could have met Messy Maya.
But yeah, so like, okay, Orlando. First of all, it is absolute basura. Okay. From the food experience, but let's start off at the airport, okay? Because we just landed, all right, and we got this good deal. The good deals that everybody from JetBlue get apparently
with budget.
Yeah, budget rent the car,
Yeah,
and we got a good deal, and so everybody got that same good deal because there was 2 people working that place and a line. Down the block, bitch.
No, for real.
It ended up being an hour and a half line.
Bitch, round that shit up to 2 hours. Like, we didn't leave there until 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Don't forget, like, it took us forever to get our bags at baggage claim.
Oh my God, they're on island
They
time.
were. So that was the first thing. It took forever for us to get our bags. Then we had to wait an hour and a half just to get the rental car. So yeah, that shit was 2 fucking hours.
Yeah, we got out of there like 2:00.
Ridiculous. And what time did we live?
11. Yeah, it was like 1:30 when we got out of there.
Right.
It was really ridiculous.
Right.
And the walk was whatever. Okay, listen. We're on New York time. So when you sitting there on island time, it starts to give me anxiety and antsy. I get very antsy.
So after leaving that, we finally get the rental. We finally get out of there. We get some food, which was like pretty decent. It was decent. I'm not going to say it was like, oh my God. But eventually, because so much time passed away at that point, by the time we got food, it was like 4 to 4:30. Then check-in was at 4, right? So then we went to the hotel after that. So a lot of time had passed, so we didn't get to really enjoy the day. Now, I got invited to this VIP happy hour because of someone that I connected with out there. So that was cool. I ended up doing that for a little bit, met these 2 wonderful women by the name of Karen and Christina. Karen has her own podcast. It's called The Music of Life, where she talks about challenges with divorce and just going through life challenges while being divorced and things you need to know financially, co-parenting, like legal court issues, all of those dynamics.
Yeah, she told me she was also like, she talks about like, so she's had the podcast for like 2 years now and something along that line. And a year and a half.
A year, it's less than, a little. She started in September.
Yeah, you're right. So like a year and some change. And she also talks about like the healing process after the divorce. Once it's, healing her inner child and stuff like that. which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. And when I listened to a couple of her episodes, I was like, this is toxic. Like I'm going to talk about this a little bit, but it's on there if you guys want to give it a listen, or if you know anyone that's going through that. She talked about this one experience where she's in charge of taking the check and paying for everything, right? Mortgage, all of the things. She mentioned how a payment had bounced because his job, there was something with the check, they didn't put it in on time. And he blamed her and went off on her and was saying like, oh, well, my parents are going to lend us the money. You need to pay them back every cent, when that didn't even need to happen. It was just late. Plus the bank gives like a 15-day grace period.
They do.
So he was like going off on her. And then there was another situation that she explained where, they got into a little debate and he was just doing the most, embarrassing her in front of her daughter, saying you're going to end up homeless. You're going to end up on the street. Like it gets really crazy. So, it's interesting to just hear her talk about just these stories, like what happened and how she's surviving it and how she's co-parenting and like how she feels like, she even mentions that she had to apologize to her daughter because she was arguing in front of her daughter. And like, looking back on it, it's like, that's not good. I shouldn't have done that. Like, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
I didn't meet her that night, but I ended up meeting her a couple days later, and she opened up about how, like you said, her ex-husband wanted her homeless. And I asked her a very interesting question. I didn't expect her answer to be what it was, but I had asked her, I said, going through this hell of a divorce, are you afraid of ever getting married again? And she answered it, and I was very shocked to hear her answer, to be honest. She said to me, it took a long time for her to get to the point where she is now, and that she values herself so much now that, she's not afraid to get married again, but it's going to take a long time for the right man to even convince her to even think about marriage. Like she even talks about celibacy and how,
wow.
Like that she doesn't just give that energy up to anybody because you have to be special. And I was like, when she was talking to me, I kind of was like telling her, I was like, I feel the healing, the healed you through like your energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It was nice. It was a very nice conversation. I like Karen a lot.
Yeah, Karen's really cool. So if you guys know anyone that's going through any of those situations, definitely check out her podcast. Like she already has like different women reaching out to her saying like, oh my God, like you've helped me so much. Like this helps me guide and, all those things. So, and we met so many people. So we ended up going to the happy hour that night, right? We totally missed out on everything. So after that, you had met up with me after that little happy hour that I went to on the side. We go to the bar. There was only 2 bars that was open. So Podfest occurred in the Renaissance Hotel. Mm-hmm. It's a really nice hotel. Unfortunately, tickets sold out, so we couldn't even stay there. So we stayed in Airbnb. We go to the bar and we're just like chilling. And we meet a couple of people that are pretty cool. And we're just having conversation. And in the middle of having that conversation, we meet Paula. Infamous Paula.
Talking shit with P.
Everybody knows who Paula is there at Podfest.
She's a very popular woman, and she comes up to Tiana because she thinks her outfit is fire.
Yeah.
Now, Paula's from Atlanta, so she knows what fire fits look like because Paula every day looked fly, even in her pajamas.
Yeah, and she had these like orange box braids and they were like down her ass. Like that shit looked fire.
Yeah, she cool as hell.
Yeah, she was cool. So she comes up talking about, I love this outfit. Mad extra.
Yeah.
Mad extra. Personality out the door, right through the roof. Then she's like, let me buy y'all drinks, shots on the tab. I'm
typing it up. She had her number, the room she was putting it on.
Yo, literally. And it's like, she has like a cool setup and a cool deal and everything. So it wasn't no problem for her like to put anything on the tab. But she was just getting us drinks, like, and she was like really cool.
Yeah, you know what? I really appreciate Paula because she took us basically, she came up to us.
She did.
I felt like at the moment that she came up to us, I was still kind of like, you had already broken that ice when you went to your party before. I had just gotten there, started. So like for me, every time I'm in a social setting, I kind of have to mentally prepare for shit. So like I was just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
And then Paula comes and she just completely breaks the ice and she brings us along. brings us to the bar, and then we end up meeting more people there.
We ended up meeting so many people, which is wild. So one of the people that we end up meeting, he goes by the name of Tristan, right? And this was cool because
You could not stop talking about Tristan.
I couldn't stop talking about him and his podcast because I'm like, you know what? Their podcast it's called Accidental Swingers.
Yes.
With Tristan and his wife, Marina. And so once he started telling us about what his podcast was about, I was like, gagged.
Yeah,
Because you have so much people talking shit about what we cover, but they have a swingers podcast and they're extremely successful.
Extremely successful.
Extremely.
Very, very. They're chilling and they do this for fun.
Yes. Yes.
Like they are popular in the swinging and kink community, and they do this for fun. Okay. Understand, y'all.
Yeah,
Coolest fucking people, and they're older than us.
And I think that's another thing too, right? Like you don't see a lot of that. Like when do you ever see? Well, I'm not in the community. I don't know. But when do you ever see like an older married couple that are swingers, but also kind of like have an open kind of marriage too, and talking about their experience on a podcast? Like you don't see that.
Yeah, and even the way they started, right? So the way they started, I mean, do you want to say it's your favorite podcast?
No, go ahead, girl.
I really don't know much of the story.
Oh my God, Paul is so funny. She was like, yeah, I jerk off listening to your podcast. She told Tristan that because that's how like I met Tristan, through Paula. Like he was right there at the bar.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that was like really funny. So yeah, go ahead.
That's so funny. Wow.
She's so funny, yo.
I'm dead. Yeah, no, they basically they were out, and I'm only saying this because they have it on their podcast already. The things we're telling you, they already said it. So they were out hanging out with this couple, and it was nothing. They didn't think anything of it. It's not like a conversation that Tristan had with his wife. It wasn't any of that.
Yes.
They were just having a good time with this couple, and it was a vibe, and they got a little lit.
Yeah.
And then they're like, why don't you come hang out and let's keep drinking at the crib?
Uh-huh.
And then they're like, sure. So then they get in this Uber and they're all in the back. And then Tristan starts making out with the girl, and then
his wife started making out with the husband
oh
first.
yeah,
then he started making out with his wife. I was like,
yeah.
What?
And then it was just like that's how it became Accidental Swingers.
Literally.
Accidentally stumbled into it, I guess.
Yeah. So that was tea.
But I think what I loved most about Tristan in particular was the fact that the compliments that he gets, that they get on their podcast is that they feel the energy.
Yeah, they love the chemistry.
The chemistry between the couple. And I think that we could relate to that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you think so?
100%.
You think so?
100%.
I don't know. Everybody think I'm mean to you, so
God.
Oh no.
They're just some weak bitches.
Oh no.
But no, on some real shit. Tristan was like, the biggest compliment is when people who know them through their podcast finally meet them in person.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, you are truly exactly how you are on the podcast.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that is the biggest compliment because you meet so many people who are not who they say they are.
Yeah. This is very true.
But anyways, do you have anything else to say about that?
No, I thought it was just really dope meeting Tristan. And then I think towards the end, we finally met Marina, his wife, and everything like that. And I think that she's cool.
Cool. She's amazing.
She's so cool.
She's amazing. They're down to earth.
Very down to
guys,
earth.
like down to earth. You see what I think I find so interesting is that in the line of work that we cover, it's very gatekeeping. It's very Hollywood. It's very, how much jewelry do you got? How many awards do you have?
Yeah.
How many streams do you have? What's your number count look like?
How many followers?
How many? Yes.
Yeah.
Everything is very
Clout.
Yeah. So when you meet people who are not gatekeepers, who are open to talk to you, and they probably have more money than half the people who are trying to fake flex online. You know what I'm saying? It's a reminder that this internet shit is seriously, I don't know, it's not everything.
Right.
It's not everything.
Right.
Just because you got a high follower count doesn't mean your bank account reflects that.
Period.
It's funny though, because when we met her on the last night, right before we met her, I had asked Tristan, because he was just telling me all about his girlfriend and the wife's boyfriend. It's a very interesting dynamic, right? And I had asked him a question. I asked him, look, being that you're human, right? Has there ever been a point in this relationship, in this dynamic of yours, where you felt like your wife was giving her boyfriend more attention than she was giving you? And if so, or vice versa, and if so, were you ever jealous? Like, what did it ever, create those feelings for you? And he said,
all right, guys, if you want to know the tea, the real motherfucking tea, head over to our Patreon. You can find the link in the show notes as well as the description. All right, now back to the show.
I think it was one of these days. I don't remember. So like from 9 to 4 or 9 to 2, there was a bunch of panels where you would learn on just different topics on how to scale your podcast and do other things, right? And in one of those seminars, Tiana and I were sitting down and we were just, I forgot, you asked a question about live call-ins. And when you introduce yourself, they know we talk reality TV, whatever. And this guy in the back, he answered your question about a microphone or like
the Rodecaster Pro.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All minor details irrelevant, because this kid at the end, right, ends up talking to us and he's like, oh, do you mind if I talk to you more about this Rodecaster Pro? So being nice, we both just like, yeah, sure. So we're listening to him. He's very passionate about telling how excited he is to use his Rodecaster and how much ability it has. But I don't even know how we ended up here, because next thing I know, he's like talking to us about, oh, I know how we ended up here. I asked him, what does he do? Is he a podcaster? He says, yes, I talk about God. And I was like, oh, great. So I have a question for you. What do you think about Drewski and the whole drama online about him, quote unquote, making fun of the church? And like most people who have been true followers of God and stuff like that, he's like, oh, I don't see a problem with it. I think that people they're not focusing on the real problem. Then I asked him another question, an even deeper question. I said, okay, great. I love that answer. I said, now, since you are a follower of God, I need to ask you, do you think that in order to reach the highest level of tax bracket, you have to compromise your morals? Or do you think God can be with you in the highest level of that tax bracket? And he had his answers. He genuinely believes that you can be a good person and still be massively, massively rich, aka greedy. He believes that. And so you were on his side on that.
Yeah.
You were on his side.
You don't have to be greedy to be rich.
No, what I'm talking about is Zeus rich. I'm talking about Rihanna rich. I'm talking about Rock Nation rich. I'm talking about Kanye rich, Kim Kardashian rich. I'm talking about rich Elon Musk rich. I'm talking about Trump rich.
Yeah, but do you have to be greedy to be that rich?
Good question. Do you?
I don't think so.
That's a conversation that I asked him. So we could agree to disagree, right? That's a different topic for a different day. So he, I guess, saw so much in this conversation that he was like, oh, you know what? Do you guys want to pray with me? And now I'm just like, what? what do I want to what? And he's like, if you don't mind, can you pray with me? And I'm like, bro, I was like this. I was like, okay, sure. And in my head, I'm like, nah, this is God. Like, I need to let, like, because New York me is like very defensive, very like, who is this guy? What is his intentions? You trying to do something? Like, I let my guard down now, but in my head, I'm like, nah, this is God. You really need to let your guard down. Like, pray with you is crazy. After I told him my experiences and stuff like that. So I allowed, we both did.
Yeah.
He said this small prayer, bro. This was the longest prayer of my life.
Yeah. That's usually what they do. These pastors and ministers, they always say it's gonna be short, and it's never short. Like, even when they pray for the food, it's never short. It's always long. Like,
I was like, damn.
That's just what you learn, like, when you grow up in the church. Like, it's always some long ass prayer. Like, it is never short.
Bro, he got me. I kept saying shit, and I'm like, damn, bro. Like, but
yeah, because he was saying, repeat after me.
Yes.
So that's what the prayer essentially was.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It was a repeat after me, and it was like 3 words per breath.
Jesse's so uncomfortable.
No, but I did it right, and I felt good. And it felt genuine. And then at the end, he was so sweet. He was like, do you mind if I pray for you guys? And he prayed, and I felt it. It felt so genuine. It really felt like God. Like, he really felt like a God soldier.
Yeah.
Which was like cool, because you meet a lot of these people, and sometimes
they're fake.
You could feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But his energy was so genuine, and he was very sweet. I really enjoyed that.
So
like, what the fuck in Podfest? You find someone who prays for you?
A minister, right.
How you go from meeting swingers to going to, like, have someone pray for you?
Right. It was the most, like, I'm telling you, it was, like, so random. So now, before even attending Podfest, because I'm doing, like, my own, like, business relations on the side, I had posted on Facebook, different Facebook groups, right? And I had basically, just asked who's going to Podfest, like, would love to connect, like, things like that. And so this one lady had commented under the post by the name of Kia McLean. And so we ended up meeting each other, not on the first day, but eventually, Friday or Saturday, one of those days. And I met her in the lobby, and she was super cool. She's from Dallas, Texas. And she's a paralegal on the side, but then she's also an author and a poet and a podcaster, right? And basically what her podcast is called, the Healing Poetic Podcast, Rise. It's helping, people heal from their traumas, but through writing. So it's like with poetry, with like, sharing her own experiences and things like that. And she's written 10 books. So she's pretty cool, pretty cool. And she was mad funny, yo. She was mad cool. We were talking for like a good hour and change.
Yo,
and
real.
Yeah, you couldn't find me. You're like, where you at?
I was like, I let Tiana do her thing because I wanted my space. I had just finished talking a lot, so I was just like, do your thing. I'm gonna go sit by the bar.
Yeah.
Ended up, having like, it was like an hour and 15 minutes, bitch. And I'm like, all right. Yeah. I don't see her in the spot no more.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Tiana? She's still talking to the same lady.
Yeah. And it was so funny because while we were talking, some random kid comes up in the middle of a conversation. I don't know what the fuck he said. And it was like an inside joke because he was just like staring at me. He said something. I didn't hear what he said. And I was like, oh no, I'm not. What was the name? I don't even remember. I said, I'm not Tia or something. And he was like, oh no, I said, hey. Mad soft-spoken. And then Kia was telling us, because after you showed up, Kia was like, nah, he was staring at you the whole time, girl. Staring at you the whole time. I was like, oh, hell no. I thought he was Uber Eats. He had like a bag in his hand, and I really thought he was delivering, and he wanted to know the person. Because you know how Uber Eats, like, delivery guys, how they look with the phone, and that's how he looked. He came up to me with the phone and the bag in the hand, and he was like, I thought he said, Tia. I said, I'm not Tia. But he said, no, I said, hey. Very soft-spoken. I was like, oh.
Why you make his voice sound like that?
Because I'm telling you, Jesse, his voice was so soft-spoken. I didn't know what the hell he was saying to me. I was like, what? I'm not Tia. But that was like so funny.
That shit is funny because it's like, that you talking to a New York girl, bro.
Yeah.
You cannot be coming off like, hey.
Yeah, that's literally what we came up as. So it was like a funny joke, but like me and Kia really like talked about a lot, and it was like really cool. And then after that, like you came in and we started getting to the conversation of cigars.
Yeah,
which I know you love that.
Yeah, that was my thing for sure. Like that's my conversation. I guess you know what I learned, like, and like I said, I feel like Podfest was such a experience that it was so much that happened that I had to like really come back home and internalize everything, because one thing that was special about meeting Kia in particular was that she kind of reminded me of why I loved smoking cigars to begin with. I had stopped smoking cigars when my grandfather passed away a couple years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago now. And that was me and my grandpa's thing. Like me and my grandpa and my grandma would sit out in Florida on vacation with a glass of whiskey and smoke a cigar and enjoy the nice summer day. Like that's what it was. And so since his passing, I haven't. But when Kia was talking about cigars, and we were talking about it in the sense where, like, as a female, when you're in a cigar bar, most men don't think you know much about cigars.
Right,
they kind of look at you like,
what are you doing here?
Yeah, or like you don't know, like, oh, this cute, you know? Or like, and she was describing how whenever she goes with her man.
Her husband.
Oh, is her husband?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, that's right. Okay, when she goes with her husband, that they acknowledge him first and they think that he knows. Meanwhile, when they go into the room where they pick out cigars, it's her that knows, and she earns her respect that way. But it's kind of a judgmental thing that men do naturally when you're in those environments. And I kind of equated it to playing golf, right? Like it's also a certain class. When you go to these cigar bars, you meet a lot of men who are business owners. And then she ended up saying how a lot of the deals that you get or stuff like that, or conversations of like networking or possible collaborations, happen at cigar bars. And it just like inspired me, because like who the fuck would have thought that going to Podfest would make me want to, I don't know, reminisce not only on my grandpa, but then like start smoking cigars again. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
That's
right.
so random.
So random. And another interesting thing about her, like because she's written 10 books, like she was able to basically table, one of the days she was able to table and lay out all her books out there. She wasn't allowed to sell anything, but she was basically allowed to like show off all her books. And this one lady comes up to her and she's like, oh my goodness, like, you know, tell me about this. I love this. And, you know, as she's explaining everything, the one lady's like, oh my goodness, you need to get on this podcast. And she, I think, worked for the guy that ran that podcast. So because Kia was at Podfest and tabling and showing off her books and everything and meeting different people, she was also able to get a spot on that guy's show, just talking about, you know, grief and things like that, because that's what his podcast is about. So it was very like on brand. So that's another thing with Podfest, how like you can just meet people and you never know who you meet, and then boom, you end up on someone's podcast, and it could be like very big for you in your own podcast, in your position as an author or whatever the case, you know, you're in. So I thought that was also very cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Very cool.
Like I said, Podfest was so random. Like
it was so random.
Because right after
I think we were just random. Because there's other people where they went to everything, then they were tired, then they didn't experience any happy hours or experience
I think
karaoke
we did
night.
a lot more of the connection part than the panel part.
We did.
Like for real. Because like it was wild, because after we met up with Kia, she gives Tiana a bracelet because everybody was talking about it that night. That you're going to be at the karaoke. You're going to be at the karaoke. It was open bar for everybody who had a badge. We didn't know it at the time.
No.
But when you got there, open bar, everyone, free food, free drinks.
Everything. Yeah.
Everyone was lit.
Yeah, we get there. All you had to do, podcast, man, Podfest. That was it. Free drink, whatever you want, too.
And
whatever
you know what that means.
you want.
You know what that means? Everyone was drunk.
Drama when people get the liquor in them. You feel me?
Here's the tea.
Right. So we are in this karaoke bar. It's lit. Everyone's singing all types of songs. There were some great singers. There were some bad singers. There were some singers that didn't care that they were bad, but they were great performers. And it was vibe. Like people were dancing. People were just hanging out. And so we went there. We met a couple of people that we had met earlier. And so we hung out with them by the bar. And I met a couple of people. I was talking to a couple of people. But then at some point, we met Tasha and Sade at the bar. And how did we meet? I think, oh, Tasha complimented my hair.
Oh, is that what it
That's
was?
how it was. Like, she was like, I love your hair and everything. And that's when we started talking. And then complimented my fit. Then she saw you, complimented you, all this stuff. And that is how we got to talking to Tasha and Sade.
Now, Tasha is, she's a podcaster. She talks about RV life.
Yeah.
She lives in an RV.
Yeah.
That's her life. Her and
Yeah.
her kids, her husband, everything.
Yeah,
They do
yeah.
the RV shit.
Yeah.
And we was just talking about that because it's like she's crazy. She loves that supernatural shit.
She does.
I love it. I love it because I can relate.
Yeah. And it was so funny though, hearing her talk about it. Cause she's
the stereotype. When you hear the noise,
Yeah.
she be like, who is it?
Yeah, like she wants to go and
She
explore.
wanna go. I felt her though.
She's like, yeah, I fuck with it. Like I'm like, oh.
When she talked about the story, what was it? The coin? You wasn't supposed to touch the coin.
And she took the money.
And then the ghost got mad and she like her RV broke down and shit.
Like wasn't she experiencing like
For a
traumatic
while.
stuff for like a good 6 months to a year or something like that?
And then she went back
Yeah. She went back.
and brought change for the ghost.
Like, hey, I gave you some money. like what is the story?
First of all, Tasha had me cracking
No, for
up
real.
the entire
time.
night.
Yeah.
She is so funny. Love the podcast. What's the name of the
Learn
podcast?
to RV. That's the name of her podcast.
Learn
Yeah.
to RV.
Yeah.
Fucking lit. Go check
Yeah.
it out. She's cool. Her
Yeah.
family's cool.
Yeah, I wonder how she's doing now, man. Like, I feel like after Podfest, it's like hard to connect with certain people that probably like aren't on
In
the
social media.
like that.
I have her on Instagram. I'll find her.
Yeah, but me too. But I don't think she's
not
responded
on
to.
there.
I don't think she's on there. So it's like really hard to like keep in touch.
Yeah.
But
But she was sitting with Sade.
yes,
Who
yes.
I to this day don't know what her face looked like. I swear. The coolest girl, bro. We swear we talked at the bar for like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
When we
yeah.
left, you left, we were
Yeah.
talking forever.
Yeah.
We clicked, but I swear I don't know what she looked
Yeah,
like. You
yeah.
could put me in a room with her, I wouldn't know who she is because she got this mask and she every time she was out, she had the mask covering her face. So she really stuck with it. Like
she really did.
she didn't no air, no itch, no nothing. Like I was trying to see, like
Oh my
see what
god!
you look like.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, like she. You're so annoying. Yeah, like I ain't know what the fuck. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can kind of deduce what she looked like. I think I could use my imagination.
Yeah, because she's short. So you put me in a room with a short girl, I mean, I guess, but like,
yeah.
her face was covered, girl. She's
Yeah,
a small
this is
girl.
true,
So
yeah.
like the whole fucking mask was like this.
Yes, it was glued on. It was glued on. I was like, yo.
Glued.
Yes,
Not a
yes,
single itch.
yes.
You know, sometimes you sweaty or something.
Yeah,
Nah. Committed.
But Sade was mad cool. Now, what did Sade do again? Do you remember?
She's a podcast with she has a mom podcast, something about a mom podcast.
Okay.
I didn't get the name of it. Very, very low key.
She's
person.
very low key.
She's low key, but she be about that life.
yes.
She wants to be the fly on the wall.
Yes. That was definitely the energy.
I fuck with her though. So like she's from the South. And she just came back from living in Japan for 5 years.
Yes, because her husband is in the military.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So she just came back a couple months ago. So she is transitioning back to the culture. And this is how we end up in this situation because, we were out in karaoke and you know more the story than I do.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you after. Go ahead. You want to get into the story?
So let's get into the story of the tea that happened with Sade at the karaoke night, all right? This was wild because I wasn't expecting this to happen at a corporate conference, right? Like, this is so corporate. I didn't expect it to get so messy, but it got messy real motherfucking quick. Guys, if you want to hear the mess, this messy ass fucking story, please tune into the Patreon because this was the last thing I expected from Podfest. Now back to the show.
But that was kind of karaoke night. Karaoke night was fun.
It was fun. I had a great time.
All that shit that happened, I had no idea. I was talking to the doctor, who is like an odd guy, but very, very interesting.
Yeah.
He's very smart. You know what?
Yeah.
It's another thing I learned in Podfest, that, I mean, you're talking to lawyers, you're talking to paralegals, you're talking to CEOs, radiologists, people who make money in that realm, in their field, and yet they still would leave it all just to become a successful podcaster, which I find like insane. Like, wow, you're telling me you're a radiologist, and that's what we were talking about, because he asked me what I did and I asked him what he did, and I was like, so why do you want to be a podcaster? And he's just like, who wants to be a radiologist? I was like, I guess.
A bunch of creatives in one room, for real.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Okay, so now we are at the end of Podfest. And they have this end of Podfest party that they have inside the hotel. And we get there and everyone is drunk. My radiologist friend is fucking doing the white boy dance.
He's running around. Running man.
He was doing some shit like this.
Yeah, he was doing something. I don't know what he was doing.
He was having a good time.
He was. That we know.
He got really lit that night. A little too lit for him, for his own sake, but I thought he was asking for Paula, but he was actually asking for Paul.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
But it's so funny. So as Tiana and I are like chilling, we meet up with our friends that we've made throughout the convention. And this girl just like Papi Shampoo, bro. But she's not Papi Shampoo. Her energy is Papi Shampoo. But like she's very feminine presenting, and she's just walking up like a surfer, like, like real Poppy, right? So I'm watching her come across with her hands in her pocket, Poppy coming over, pull up to Tiana, like, and I just see the body language, because I don't even know what's happening, because I'm over here talking to my radiologist, right? And I'm looking and I'm just watching, and I'm like, wow, she came in strong. So then Tiana does, like, she does the thing where she kind of breaks it to her, like, brings me a part of the conversation. And I'm like, hi, how you doing? And it was just so funny, because the way she walked in, you could tell she wanted you. You could tell she wanted you. It was wild. I was like, damn, they trying to steal my girl.
I did not know you saw her walking for that long.
Oh, yeah, I
only saw her when she got closer.
No.
That's crazy.
Because it was the walk, and you know where she from?
The Bronx, bro.
No, she's from Miami.
Oh, I forgot.
That made sense. Because because I'm like, there's no way you're from Orlando. Walking like that?
Yeah.
You from somewhere strong.
Yeah.
Somewhere confident. Because what? I'm telling you, even the way she... the way she walked up like this, I was like, oh, they gonna try to steal my girl.
Yo, you're dragging it.
Nah, no, for real.
Because I didn't even see her until she got closer, but like she
locked eyes from across the room, saw you, and walked. It was amazing. Because you know what I do admire? As I admire anybody with that much confidence, like for real, because that to me is sexy. Like the way she walked up to Tiana, I was like, damn, that's hot. Like she knew what she wanted.
Listen, I won't lie. She definitely came up and it was that energy. I was like, oh, I'm feeling this right away. Immediately. Like there was like no telling. Like, yeah, that was the energy.
And she was like, I'm from Miami. What else? I was like, yo, look, why you so cool? Like, energy was just
it was like
Papi Shampoo,
big
for
dick
real.
energy for sure. Even though like she was more feminine presenting, but I definitely felt the energy. It was like, this is a lot.
Shit.
And then she be going to the Bronx and shit, and then it made sense when she said the Bronx.
She got BDE.
Yeah, for sure. And that was that. I mean, there was nothing much to it. Weren't we supposed to hang out, and then we never hung out because she never texted you?
No.
Yeah.
That never actually came into fruition. No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, she was cool. I was just saying, I was like, oh shit, they gonna try to steal Tiana today.
That's crazy.
That shit was wild.
Yeah.
I admire it. I do. I really do. Like that confidence, I feel like more people should have that.
It's crazy because hearing you talk like that, a lot of people wouldn't talk like that. Like they'd get mad. There are people that get mad at shit like that.
No.
Like
what?
they can't even talk about it like that. They get mad like, why are you even coming to my girl like that? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I've seen it. That's why, with you for a reason. Like, hello.
No, that's sexy. First of all, there's not enough people doing that. I feel like people just use social media and they use their phones and they're afraid of rejection. So the fact that she really pulled up like that, I gotta respect the confidence. However, I also appreciate you because you brought me a part of the conversation, and that's our way to get there.
Right. Run it back.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just works, But yeah, the fuck, I'm not talking shit because at the end of the day, that energy gonna get her somewhere.
Yeah.
Because that was like...
No, but I'm telling you that the way how you just be cool, calm, and collected when those things be happening, like nobody's like that.
No,
nobody's like that.
Crazy. Are you serious?
Remember when we were at the gay bar and then the girl grabbed my hand and was like, "Oh, you're beautiful. I just want to let you know you're beautiful," or some shit. And the way she did it was mad smooth, and you were still calm and cool and collected. Nobody would have been calm with that. Nobody would have been calm and cool and collected in that moment.
I don't know. I guess, but I feel like that's a compliment.
Every time I tell people that story, they be like, "What did Jesse say?"
No,
every time
stop.
I'm dead ass. They be like, "What did Jesse say?" Like she ain't saying nothing, and I'm like, "What is there to say?" Like I didn't give the girl the time of the day.
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
It was just like, "Thank you," and I kept it pushing. Like low key, I was scared because I'm like, "What the fuck is touching my hand up in here?"
Yeah,
nobody be bold to be touching my hand like that.
But
so
that's what I'm saying. Like I got it. You. How can you be mad at someone for having that much confidence?
No, she did. I was like, okay,
it was strong.
Like she really went like this and all that, and she was tall. So I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? My hand's still going. Like what the fuck? Like and.
That was a lit night. That was a lit night. That was somebody came up to me too that night, and she was like, "Are you single?"
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I listen. I don't get mad at people having the confidence to not get rejected. Like to me, I think that's an art form that is lost in today's age. Like,
it is.
So I feel like there's no, and also it's a compliment. Like I'm not a jealous person. It's not like you're the type to get sloppy and be like, oh, like if you did that,
then that's a different story.
It's a very different story.
Very different story because that's hella. Like,
but I
crazy.
feel like we're very stable in where we stand and how we maneuver and things, and you know what I mean. Like you don't make me feel weird, and at the end of the day, it's you. You know what I mean? The other people, they don't know. They don't owe me nothing.
Exactly. And I feel like that's how I maneuver too. Like, they don't owe me shit. The fuck do they owe me? Like, if anything, we owe each other, like, more than the person that's coming up talking to either of us because they don't know me. They don't know you. Like, what the fuck you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But not a lot of people have reached that level of maturity to like look at things like that, which is why I'm telling you, you being calm in those situations, no one else is being that calm. Especially a woman.
I mean, I always found it as a compliment when someone came up to my girlfriend, and this is before you too. Like, that was always something. Maybe it's egotistical to say it like that, but like, imagine I'm with someone and then nobody thinks she's pretty.
That's that's crazy.
Imagine.
That's why you mad.
Because imagine no one's coming up to your girl wanting her. That's crazy work. Like, you really want her that ugly so no one comes up to her?
Yo, you're OD. You're OD.
Why? I'm not saying nothing crazy. I'm saying the truth.
This sure is true.
Because it's like, if you're mad that other people find your girl attractive, then that means what's the opposite? Ugly? You want her to be ugly?
Yo. I have nothing to say. I'm just telling you that, there's people that they not that calm. So I'm glad it works. Anywho. All right. So moving on, guys, going into our final moments at Podfest. So, it was a great time after the party. You know, we eventually made it out to the bar. We were just all vibing, met a lot of different people there, and it was so cool. And randomly, as we're at the bar, this guy comes up. He's like, "Oh, do you want to go to the bonfire? You guys want to have a party by the fire?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? What does he mean, party by the fire?" So he's like, "Yeah, like by the fire outside. Like, let's go." Mind you, it's cold in Florida. So I'm like, "What the fuck?" So we're like, all right, let's go. So me, you know, Jesse and a couple of people, we were the bunch of people. We went outside to the back of the hotel, and there was literally like a little fire pit, and people were all sitting by it, and it was really nice. So we just like sat by the fire, like put our hands there, and it was a vibe. And they had drinks out there too. They had wine, they had whiskey, they had cigars, they had pizza and stuff like that. So it was a vibe. Like, it was a very chill vibe. And there were a couple of people there that we had met earlier. We learned so much from different people in terms of what they do. And people were giving us advice, and they had no problem giving us these advice to help us what they learned. But in the midst of being at that bonfire, people were getting a little cozy. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, some of the girls were.
So for this next part, it was honestly giving private party after hour vibes. So if you want to know the tea, head on over to our Patreon, and you can find the link in the show notes as well as the description, y'all. Back to the show.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting to be in that environment. And I feel like we saw a different side of Podfest that a lot of people didn't really get to see.
100%.
You know, a lot of people were there talking about business, talking about this, that, and the third, but nobody really got down in the field. It was like really getting to know people on a personal level
100%.
in the way that we kind of did. And not saying that we really got to know, but we was really in some shit.
No, we were.
We were.
It was wild. That whole trip was so wild to me. Like, we had no time to do our own thing because it was always something.
It's always something.
It was so weird. It was so Florida. Like,
yeah.
Florida is so weird. Like, you know what I mean? From like, you know, just the personalities to the situations. Like, I know at some point, like, the food situation in Orlando was absolutely horrendous.
Oh my gosh.
Like, for example, I wanted an empanada, which is very simple to have. Like, it's very simple. And so there was this nearby Colombian spot that was chain. It was a chain Colombian spot. So I was like, okay, all the food looks fake and plastic. The empanada was good, but the coffee's trash. Everybody knows that Colombian coffee is supposed to be delicious.
Yep.
So when you're telling me that this shit tastes like toilet water, I think it must be the water in Orlando, because then we go to the hot pot, which I don't know. You know what? Why on earth did I think that it was a good idea to go to hot pot in Orlando, knowing my experience? I went to University of Tampa, so like Orlando's only very, very close. So I've been around Orlando enough to know that there's absolutely no good food in Orlando. I don't give a fuck. All my Orlando people out there, I don't care what you say. Home cooked food is way better than anything out there. So I don't know. We went to this hot pot spot. It was 4.7 ratings, like 3,000 reviews. So it sounded convincing.
Yeah.
And when we got there, it was horrendous.
It was terrible.
It was the worst. The broth tasted disgusting. Tiana wanted to get rid of it so bad that she evaporated the broth.
Yeah, I just was boiling that shit out. I was just boiling it out.
She was just evaporating the broth. I couldn't finish it. It was absolutely disgusting. And then, right, like the only thing that I could say that I was starving, because I was like, we didn't eat, and like hot pot was already a disaster. So what's open at like 2 a.m? Denny's. Denny's was great for the moment until that acid reflux hit. Yeah.
That happened to me too.
And I was like, oh, the hash browns kept repeating on me. And I was just like, I knew it was a disaster to have it. Nothing is good in Orlando.
Nothing.
Wawa's the best thing you could get, and it's just trash. I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah, it was terrible. And it's funny because I did listen on one other podcast. Oh my God, Nicholas and Fiona that we met. And I listened to Nicholas's podcast. It's called culturally incompetent. And he was also doing a recap of Podfest. Fiona was a guest on there, and he was saying how food trash, and they don't even want to help you. And it was like a DIY meal. That's what Fiona called it. And I was like, yo, that's really facts, because that's how it felt when we were at Hot Pot. Like, it was weird. And first of all, I've never been to a Hot Pot where it was like buffet style. That was the red flag. When I saw buffet style, I was like,
my dad was like, there's cross-contamination that could happen there. And I was like, ugh.
That's why I hate buffet.
Ugh. Disgusting.
That's exactly why I hate buffet. So when I saw the buffet, that's when I immediately was like, I don't know about this, but I still kind of went forward anyway, because I'm like, I've never seen a hot pot where everything is laid out and you just pick. Like, no, like usually you pick your base and they do it for, like, from what I've experienced when I went to a really nice hot pot, you pick your base, you pick your meat, but they do it for you.
Hey, yo.
You're annoying. But they do it for you, and they bring it, and like, they bring it out and you can put it in, but it's not like laid out there like a buff. You know what I mean? I've never experienced that. So I was like, I don't know if this is going to be that good. Whatever. It was trash.
It was terrible. The guy was like, you want more? I said, no.
He did, right?
No, thank you.
Like, he was shocked that we was just not eating.
I think I'm traumatized. I really am. Like, unfortunately, that was my first experience trying hot pot. And it's unfortunate because I live in New York where it's like the best food ever. So,
yeah, I feel like trying it in New York would have been 10 times better.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Flushing soon. We're going to go to Flushing and we're going to redo that.
Yeah. Or we can go to the spot in Harlem.
Fuck no.
Okay, whatever.
But anyways, yeah, no. So food trash. The fact that things close at 2 a.m. trash. The island time trash.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not built for Orlando. Like, at least Miami has city vibes.
Yeah.
At least Tampa has modernized enough to have great
good
food.
Right. Yes.
And it's pretty, it has city vibes.
Yeah.
But Orlando,
trash. Only thing they got is Disney.
Right. But
Universal Studios. That's it.
We wasn't there for that, so that shit was trash.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, but that is pretty much our recap on our experience at Podfest.
Yeah, show them the shirt we got.
Oh my god, yes, the shirt. So we got these shirts.
We were supposed to wear them today, but I totally forgot.
Yeah,
pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
So shout out to Podfest. Thank you for all the people that we met there.
Real.
Let's fill in the blank.
Okay.
One thing Podfest taught me is,
I would say, community relationships, like, really nurturing those relationships, building that community in your network. That's what it taught me, because I met a lot of amazing people that do amazing things, and I love that. And it also taught me to stand in your truth and don't give a fuck, because there's so many people that had a variety of so many podcasts, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your people will find you, and that's it. Who gives a fuck about the other people who are judgmental?
I agree.
Yeah.
One thing Podfest taught me is there's literally a podcast for everyone. Literally. There was a podcast about goats.
Yeah.
There was a podcast about horses.
Yeah.
There was a podcast about sailing different boats and yachts and sailing flags and shit.
Yes, that was crazy.
There was a
right?
podcast about sluts.
Yes.
There's a podcast about God. There's a podcast about grief. There's a podcast about swingers. There's a podcast about people wearing cats and hats and what?
Yo,
literally a podcast on everything.
Everything.
So just
bro.
to back up what you just said, stay in your truth. The people who relate will find you.
Yeah, 100%. So all those people that be talking shit, like that comment the other day, oh, podcast about Betty, bitch, suck my dick. Anywho, all right, guys, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please comment below, leave a review as well, rate us on Apple, Spotify, and all of those things like that. Let us know where you're from in the comments too. And yes, with that being said, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's JESSI.strange. And where can they find you, Tiana?
You guys can find me on Instagram at it's Tiana Locke. Oh my God, it's so different now. Look at how it flows off the tongue. Anywho, you guys can find us on Instagram at The Petty Headquarters. You guys can find us on YouTube and all podcast platforms at The Petty Headquarters. We release episodes weekly, y'all. And also tune into our Patreon to hear like the parts that you didn't get to hear on this episode, because it really is some tea, and those are more exclusive things that, yeah, it's Patreon exclusive. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, with that being said, this was your weekly dose of mess.